Hello, it's another beautiful day in crypto land, and this is the pre-viral show.
What is up?
What's up, guys?
Ladies and gentlemen, what's up, chat? Davis, George Taco, what's up, man?
How's
Guys,
everybody
we're
doing?
finally here.
What's up, Panda?
Not much, man. Stoked for the weekend.
Dude, yeah,
It's
I
coming
just
up.
it makes me happy to see those glasses every time.
They're so good.
We gotta get that heartbeat, baby. We gotta get the pulse of things. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right.
I love it.
Oh wait,
So,
hold on. You guys didn't invite me to this hat party, did you?
No, we didn't.
No.
I'm
All
just
right,
following
I'll
our
do
lead.
that.
I'm following our leader here.
Whatever. Good evening.
So-
All right, we got some people starting to show up.
Is
You know,
Davis always the first there, Rex?
Dude, Davis is on point, man. Davis
Always.
is our relationship has been toxic, but you know, we're taking it one day at a time.
Oh my gosh,
That's all
I
you can
love it.
do.
Davis
I-
donated $300 last night to the Rags to Riches Christmas Fund. I thought that was incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, hey man, let's wait for a couple more people to get in, then I want to have you talk about that.
Yeah,
a
for
little
sure.
bit.
Hexter Bader, what's up? You guys need to invite Lit from My Life is Awesome. That might
Yeah,
be
we
a little
do.
bit too crazy. That might be some gasoline on the fire. I don't know, man.
Yeah, he might
Get
just
his
fire
people
it
to
right
talk
up.
to our people.
I told him to DM me. He's not following me. But well,
Sounds like
we got a thing. We'll have a segment coming up in future things called
Scott
secret guest.
Shankowski. Scott is in the house, guys.
What's up, Scott?
Hey,
Scott?
Scott.
What's up, Scott?
Shout out.
That's awesome.
Piston broke. What's up, ladies? Lads, not ladies. Hello, fellow Hexkins. Hello.
It's good to be here. You guys have any plans for the weekend?
We've got Texas football. It's in Texas. It is playoff football time, and that's always special here in Texas. So
Matt has a live stream from the South End Zone. Everybody tune in.
that's
Make sure.
it's sponsored
Actually,
by
two.
Allstate.
Ball State.
Oh, Allstate.
Oh,
It's
Allstate. Yeah,
sponsored
good
by
hands.
Allstate.
Good hands.
Yeah, in good hands.
Conroy McAfee, Muhammad Amin, Jimmy Lamb. Good to see all you guys. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
So I want Brandon. You got, by the way, awesome stream last night.
Yeah.
And I want to hear, what people watch the recording too. So tell us a little bit about the Rags to Riches family Christmas or whatever you're calling.
Yeah, we're just, you know what? I tell this to my folks just about every single time I stream. I say, I'm putting myself on camera, but this is the people stream right now. It's you guys that are showing up. It's you guys that are talking, hyping it up on Twitter, YouTube. This is the people stream. And I want to use that YouTube channel. We can start small and we'll build from there, but we want to use it to make the world a better place. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is here. So we have, we took 2 days, launched about 3 days ago now, and we've been taking donations. We're going to take money. We're just to bless the socks off of somebody at Christmas. So in 2 days, this morning I woke up, we're at about $1,200 raised in 2 days so far.
That's awesome.
So with that $1,200, the community gets to vote on what I dress up as. We've had people talk about freaking fairies, Rudolph, the Grinch, Santa. Apparently spandex has to be involved. I don't want to scare the children though. But they get to vote on that. I'm going to show the receipts. I'm going to show the money to make sure everybody feels good about that too. And we're going to hire, I got a camera crew nailed down today, and we're just going to document it for the Hex community. And we're going to do things that communities don't do for the most part. And we're going to make impacts across the world. And I encourage everybody to do that as a Hexkin and Pulsekin, even if you're not a streamer. Just help as much as you can. Every little bit counts. So we have an incredible community, man. I've gotten so many donations from so many people I've never met in my life, and I can't be more happy and more proud to be a part of this community for sure.
That's awesome, man. And so just also to add to that, let people know how to donate. And then I want to say, if we get any super chats today, then we'll donate those to it.
Cool. Awesome.
And if I know YouTube takes their cut, so if there's whatever we get, I'll cover the fees.
Cool.
So that whatever we raise on this, you know, it'll be a whole amount. If people want to go, I put your Patreon group. I saw you mention that. Is there another way for people to donate?
Yeah, what I'll do, I set up a separate ETH wallet in MetaMask, so we'll be able to track everything that's coming in and going out from there. It'll be public, so we can just put that public address in the description, and then I've got a Venmo as well if people would prefer to go that route.
Okay, perfect. Well,
Yeah.
you know, Matt and I were talking earlier about this idea, you know, the idea of the hex flex, and I think that a lot of people look at it as it comes from you spend your, you know, you sell your hex and then it's what you spend the money on. But I actually look at the hex flex as just starting to do all those good things now. You know, you don't need to sell your hex to do all that stuff. And so I love that you're doing something like this around the holidays. I saw the energy around it last night and I wanted to see if we could keep it going today.
Yeah, man, I'm pumped up. I'm pumped up by the community. Super stoked. They're on board too, and it's because we're just a bunch of people with the same ideas.
Do you have any? Do you have a goal or anything of how much you want to
Dude,
raise?
I don't know. I'll tell you the truth. It surprised the hell out of me that we got so much money in 2 days.
Oh yeah.
So I don't really know what the goal is, but I will just say one thing. The amount of good that we're going to be able to do for a family is going to be tremendous. If I keep doing this for 30 days or so before Christmas, it's going to be incredible. It's going to be absolutely incredible. And
now, do you have a family in mind?
so I worked with an agency last year, and you know, it's just one of the standard agencies here in the community that pick out kids in need, and you can basically, you know, kind of adopt them for Christmas, and just they've got a list of stuff that they need. I'm talking to these folks, and we're just going to identify somebody that could benefit the most from this. And as soon as I can get everything clear and get permission from folks, I'll start talking about the people. You know, we're not going to dox them, but I'll give you guys the situation, and I'm looking forward to documenting it because it's going to go. In my mind, it's even beyond like helping people. That's very important. But what it also is, it's proof that individuals, people together in a community and group can do really good things for the world without any outside help.
Yeah.
And we can make that decision to do something. We don't need government. We don't need this. We don't need that. Certainly those things can help, and certainly those things keep people afloat. But this is a powerful testament, and it will be for the power of people in numbers with a singular focus, in my opinion.
So are you thinking about maybe when they define that family, you thinking about like buying the stuff that they need and wrapping it up and giving them Christmas presents, or what do you
General,
think?
so and this is that's a good question, and I will take any suggestions from chat because I could be missing a lot. But you know, the first thing is I want to get necessities, things that will help them out throughout the year. The second thing, you know, a lot of these folks that we talk to, they don't even have freaking vehicles. So depending on how much money we get, that might be an option as well. I want to do things that like help them out, not just a singular quick impact, something that will help them make money. The other thing is, you know, we lock up a stake for these folks. We lock up a hex stake and put that thing away and just say, hey, here's a blessing for you.
Wow.
And what more powerful testament to our community than that? That we're all involved in that. So if anybody has any ideas, Matt, you got any ideas, chat, y'all just hit me up, Twitter, you know, Telegram, ragstherichestsquad@gmail.com. Let me know.
Wow.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
I don't like that. We'll take it back. That's awesome. Well, Matt, what's good, man?
Oh,
you got any? Tell me something bullish.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, it was cool. If you missed the interview with Michael Morton, the professional footballer who's out of South Africa, Cape Town area, I was just blown away by him. He was a fantastic guy to interview. And what was so cool is, you know, he's probably the only guy that's ever sold the top in 2017 on Bitcoin. But he's got this really neat story about his they were really struggling with fertility, and they're his Bitcoin babies. So they went through IVF and it finally worked. And now he's got twin girls. They're two
Wow.
this year, and just to see a guy who's super thankful. But he talked about, his experience with really being kind of a mentor now to the guys that are, athletes now. And Hacks and Pulse are a big part of how he's helping these guys. And it's really neat to see a guy who's kind of on the tail end of his career, really thinking about the future and how excited he is. So he did a video. He's now a YouTuber called Diamond Hands, and he did a price prediction on Pulse. Just super excited. I had two other conversations this week that I didn't record about guys that are in the investment community who are, really, really big on going in. And also, just it's neat because the people that have been watching and reaching out to me are really talking to folks in the endowment space. So if you know about nonprofits, they have very large endowments, and really carving out some of that to hacks, and really more people in the institutional side getting more comfortable with the contract. And so that's really bullish. And of course, the live stream from Richard, I think was the biggest news of the week.
The one last night?
Well, the one with it wasn't the one last night, but the night, the day before. Just, getting some updates on Pulse, where we were. I was excited about that little reference to Pulse Swap,
Mhm.
and the implications of that with an LP token. And really, when Richard Hart has mentioned in these last streams that he's done how big of a deal yield farming is, that's something that people need to look into. And to me, that makes me super bullish, because that's going to be the third coin from Richard Hart, that LP token on Pulse Swap. And, if you don't understand about providing liquidity, one of the things that Richard said, if you missed it, was, there's never been a time in the past where you've gotten the other side of a pair for free. And so this idea of bridging over value and then pairing it up and then receiving, receiving value, but really, yield farming with that new LP token. I'm really curious on what he's going to call it. Whatever this Pulse Swap token ends up being. So I'm really bullish, and just see so many more people. I mean, everyone I've been interviewing now has been talking about how Pulse was what brought them in, and now they're in Hex. And that to me is really cool. It's really cool to see it happening that way versus the opposite way.
And you notice how he said that's being developed in parallel to PulseChain right now. I think he said that, right?
Yeah, there's a team
That's
already
an
working
active
on it.
development.
Oh yeah.
And GitLab, he said GitLabs, that's where it's at instead of GitHub.
Yeah. GitLab. Yep.
Yeah. Check the
Okay.
code out there.
Got it. Well, I appreciate you saying all that, Matt. And I think it's funny because we try to get as much content as we possibly can here, right, on YouTube, on Twitter, and everything else, and or Telegram, things like that. There's a Hex Discord channel, which I've actually found nice sometimes. It's a little more, it's not as frenetic and crazy as Telegram, but there's so many things that are happening, in the background that you can't consume it all. We can't watch all the videos. You can't see all the tweets. But this week alone, and Brandon, I want you to tell your story here. This week alone, on the same day, I heard 3 separate stories of serendipity around Hex.
Yeah. So I'll start with the first one. I've got a guy that I'm chatting with. He's I think he's from Italy, and he's talking directly right now to a hedge fund out there. They actually approached him because they knew he was involved in the Hex community. And they said, "Hey man, we want you to come to the board here, and we want you to talk about what you know about Hex. We're very interested in it." So that first meeting went through. They had some questions, and this guy reached out to me via Telegram, and he was basically like, "Hey, here are the objections. How should I handle these?" So I was able to kind of walk him through and kind of talk him through this stuff using data that's readily available to us, and I was able to kind of equip him with some of the tools that he needs to go to talk to these folks. And they invited him back for a second meeting next week. So from everything I can understand, these guys do not have a small bankroll. All right. So the point that I was making to Matt and Panda here was like, beyond the internet, beyond YouTube, beyond Twitter, all of you in chat right now are doing your thing in life. Just because you're not on YouTube doesn't mean you're not contributing in a big way. And that became very, very clear. And we lose sight of that when we don't see it. But what we do here is a very, very small portion of what's going on. I mean, we might be above the surface of the water, but the iceberg's below. In the same the day before, or it might have been the same day. I think it was the day before. At the end of the day, I'm getting. I looked in my rear view mirror. I see this white SUV, and this guy's like following me for a quarter mile. I'm like, crap, I'm about to get pulled over. So I pack away my RPG, I pack away my AK-47, I put my handguns, I just hide everything like a normal citizen's supposed to do. And I pull into my parking lot, and this guy kind of like comes up behind me and kind of blocks me in. I'm like, all right, it's time to go. Here we go. And he rolls his window down with a little smirky smile on his face. And he saw my license plate, and my license plate has something to do with crypto. And he's like, so what's that license plate all about? And we get to talking a little bit, and he's like, you're into this and that and Bitcoin, what else are you into? And I said, well, I'm into this thing called Hex. It's a certificate of deposit on the blockchain. And his jaw drops, and he was like, you know about Pulse? I'm like,
oh my God, that's so good.
So I was like, yeah, I know about Pulse, this and that. And then he goes on to, yeah, I know your channel, Rags to Riches, blah, 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 blah.
No way.
I live in a town that doesn't have a very big population. And out of nowhere, this guy just starts talking to me about how much he sacrificed, the connections that he has of folks, in Miami and this and that. And he's building some infrastructure. And it was just so freaking neat for somebody as small as I do, with as few followers as I have, for the world to be that small and know that these people they're around us, they're amongst us. You might not know them, but they're there. So it's always important to talk to everybody you can, even though he freaked me out at first. I thought I was going to jail or was going to get shot, but it worked out.
Yeah, I love that. And someone I interviewed had a similar story about going surfing, through a mutual friend. They're having burgers and beers afterwards, and his story is pretty funny because the guy's like, "Are you into crypto?" And he's like, "Oh no, here we go."
Right.
By the way, I don't want to interrupt our flow, but Davis is back. He won't let everybody know. Yeah, so that's important. I know you were worried. Thanks for coming back, Davis.
Damn it.
We didn't know you were gone. And then literally after that, someone said that their girlfriend was on the bus and the person sitting in the seat in front of them was checking out Hex.
Oh,
so
cool.
It's happening. I mean, we might have to think of a new name for the show.
I agree.
To be honest, I don't know.
We might have that name already.
We'll just put a big line through the pre. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, perfect. That'll
Viral
help.
Show.
So hey, Panda, my understanding is we got a pretty big announcement. We're going to make some news today. Is that right?
I got a reveal on something.
Nice.
I'm gonna let it play for a little bit.
I think that's good. I think teasing it is also helpful.
Okay, cool. And then one thing I however you can answer is I do actually want you to comment a little bit on this. Yes. Tell us a little bit about this.
Dude, I'm going to tell you, dude, the best thing about this are the Hex and Pulse logos covering up the Bear Peters, man. That's my favorite. Most people don't know logos. That, dude. But this guy, Hexray Vision, man, if you guys got to check him out. I mean, Twitter, check him out, YouTube. We had a really good conversation, and he built this. And really, dude, this is my spirit animal. That's how ironic this is. Well, I mean, my beard even matches the fur, man.
I mean, the blending is genius.
If you've ever done Photoshop, that took some time.
Well, look in the now. Here's the thing. This is all cool, but you want to talk about detail? Look at the reflection in the sunglasses. I don't know how they got a shot of me out in the open sky, but that's open sky right there, boys.
Wow, yeah, he's cut that in there.
So attention to detail, and then the logos are, that is just freaking gold. I love this guy, man. Hexray Vision, good dude. He spends a lot of time on his videos and really editing and making them real nice. So check him out.
Nice. Yeah, I thought that was great. All right. So, my first surprise is for you guys.
Hmm?
And it is. I know we talked about secret guests.
What?
And I didn't tell you guys that I was bringing one on, but we got one in the green room right now.
Is it BitBoy?
No way.
Ah, damn it! What? How did you? Is it
Don't tease
written
us.
somewhere?
Don't tease us with that.
All right. Anyway, let me bring him in now.
Oh my goodness.
Oh!
Oh, no way.
Big boy.
Matt.
No
Mike
way.
on,
Mac.
How we doing?
Oh my gosh.
Good, brother. How are you?
Great, man. Happy Friday to you guys.
Happy Friday to you as well. So
Can you
we're
guys-
able to go ahead.
Can you hear me? I'm sorry, I'm on my phone.
Yeah, you're doing great. I'm gonna turn your volume down just a little bit. You don't have to do anything. Just keep talking. But yeah, these guys didn't know. I look at Brandon smiling. He's like, you got one. You got one.
Well,
We even tested. We tested this yesterday.
There we
Oh!
go. There we go.
Hold on, brother. Hold on. I gotta dismount real quick.
Oh,
We
my
might be
goodness.
biological brothers.
There's no question.
It's possible. It is possible.
Dude, are you I mean, your accent makes me think you're like a lobster fisherman. Is that true?
Absolutely. That's my
100%.
He's the Vandecamps man.
Dude,
Nobody
they are
else-
some of the hardest people on planet Earth. I'm pretty sure.
So what's good, Mike?
same old things, man. It's Friday, winding down here at the shop. I don't have a camera on my computer, so I had to come in with the phone. But
Looks
yes,
fine.
what's going on with you guys?
Nothing. Living the dream, waiting, just sitting
That's
around
exciting.
getting paid every day from steaks,
It's a horrible life.
T-shares. I know.
Horrible life.
It's nuts.
So this is the new segment. Hype me up. I feel bad. I feel like I'm a letdown now that it's not Big Boy there.
Well,
Dude,
it's big shoes to fill, brother. It's big shoes, man.
If it would have been BitBoy, Rags would have rug pulled the whole stream. So
See that window out
It's
there?
good.
I would have just head first gone.
That over by the casting couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So, where did you guys drum up this guy here? How do you know? What's the deal?
okay, so here's the way it is. My brother is also a Hexkin, but he's in he's in some other cryptos as well. And he's not on Twitter that much, but he basically is just when everything was going sideways and he basically was like, I'm just following you for now. He's like, oh, and I'm following this other guy. And he sends me Mike's, he's like, I like this guy. And I took note of him because I like the charts that he posts on Twitter. And so I sent him a message and I said, hey, I'm going to surprise these guys on Friday. And he goes, I was just Zooming with Brandon the other day. And I was like, oh, this is going to be even better. So
Dude,
we
I'm
did-
so
we-
stoked.
we did a little test stream yesterday. I know we didn't really talk about it. And at first I was like, with the other stuff we have coming on, we decided not to necessarily, I didn't know if we decided to do anything or not, but I got in touch with him. We did a little test and here he is. That's it.
Dude, so did you tell them what your nickname was, Mike?
No,
You remember what I named you?
No, but I remember what you said I looked like last week. I actually wrote it down. I quoted it: a rusty late '80s porn actor with a chin strap.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
So I just want to tell you, it's not a chin strap, Brandon. I know you have BRB.
Dude, it's a miracle what a week can do, dude. I think you grew it in a little bit. I had an effect on you.
It's a lobster fisherman. Really.
Oh my god. I got respect. You probably make more money than I do in like 3 months doing that. Dude,
All
that's
I
awesome.
remember was I remembered chin strap. That was it. But
Yeah, and he quoted it. He wrote it down. I kind of wanted to put that on my back wall here in neon.
This
We
other
got,
story.
we got
and the
Cabana.
story.
Cosmo
story-
Jenkins in the chat. What's up, Cosmo?
What's up, Cosmo?
Jenkins,
Cabana?
and another TA guy. I love it.
Yeah.
Am I way
Couple-
behind?
Are you what?
Am I way behind on video?
Nah.
No, man. It's good. I mean, it
You're
shows
straight.
differently on the there's a couple seconds delay. And as it shows on YouTube, but that's basically it.
Gotcha.
So, have you guys? So, do you guys? What do you think, Matt? I know you talked to the Liquid Loan folks. I believe. Did you?
No, I haven't done an interview. I just watched
not?
everybody else's.
Yeah. Have you guys seen that? I mean, that seems like a pretty cool project, and I hate to be that guy that's like pumping people up, but there's a lot of Hexicans in there doing a lot of work. I had a really good stream with them last night. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I'll give you my 2 cents on it. You know,
Yeah.
what strikes me is, you know, when you think about never selling Pulse in, you know, ever, right? They're providing the infrastructure for us to literally be able to hold and hold and hold.
Mhm.
And I love that potential opportunity. The other thing that's interesting to me is the fact that I can buy more PHAX and stake it. And so you
Yeah.
think about, you know, what a loan between 0.5 point and 5% versus stakes that are going to get 40 or close to 40. And so there's some really neat opportunities to kind of farm value there. But to me, I mean, it's necessary infrastructure on a blockchain, and for them to be there pretty much at launch, usually, you know, that isn't always there. And so to me, it's necessary and awesome.
Yeah, the thing that I like most about it is its censorship resistance, which coming from Hexicans, I would expect nothing less. And it's a protocol and it's not a platform. There's no administrator. There's no special privileges. Once it launches, once the code goes, it's gone. And it's just you creating your own destiny. It's just you and the code.
Yep.
And that's what's really, really cool to me. On top of, depending on what country you're in, there may or may not be potential tax implications to the positive. And it's just, I think it's going to be a huge catalyst for growth initially when PulseChain launches. And I'm really excited about that. Paul Chavez, shout out to you, brother.
What's up, Paul?
Paul hopped on last night. I've been doing a chat roulette where I just give people the link to my restream and just see what happens. So
Well,
that's been fun.
I saw him last night. That's awesome to see him.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what I can't decide, Rags? You have about 50-50 people that are like, let's go, Brandon, and people are saying you suck.
Yeah.
And I feel like the people that say you suck might actually like you more than the let's go people.
Do you
like
remember that time?
There's like a love in a you suck, man.
Dude, it's like Matt hit the nail on the head when he says like a Big Brother type vibe.
Oh yeah, totally.
I will give you a noogie till your hair falls out. I will meet anybody in this chat. Matt, I won't do it to you because I respect my elders, but anybody else, game over, dude.
Okay, hold on. Hang on, Brandon, I got to say this. So before the stream started, it was just me and Panda and I are the same age, if you can believe it. I look older.
I thought I was like, I bet I'm older than you.
Wait, hold on. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? Where's Crypto Jenkins? Crypto Jenkins, take a snapshot here, and I want you to put CryptoHeartBeat goatee on Matt next stream and see what happens with the glasses. I bet you guys are the same people.
We are.
It's Cosmo. It's Cosmo Jenkins, dude.
Cosmo? Did I say Jenkins?
No, you said Crypto Jenkins. It's changed, dude. Things are changing. Things are changing.
You got to keep up.
But you know, we did agree that after all these, after Hex does what it does, and you got these stakes coming out, we don't care how rich you are. We're still calling you Rags.
Dude, I want to be Rags. That's my thing. I figured
it'd be like I said, it'd be like calling a fat guy Tiny.
That's right.
Keep it going. So, Mike, do you have in terms of and then we can move on to the next thing. But I'm curious your take. One of the things I like about seeing you on Twitter, is that you're authentic and raw. Like I don't think you're intentionally an asshole. You just speak your mind about things, you know. But I mean, and people respect it. They do. I've seen it. What do you think about what do you think about Liquid Loans and any other projects? Did you sacrifice for Pulse?
Yeah, sacrifice day one on Pulse. I kind of looked at the Liquid Loan stuff a little bit. I don't know it enough yet. I'll be interested to see when it actually comes out, you know, how long they wait until after the volatility of, you know, the release. Does anybody know what the interest rate is on the staking for that? I know you can like stake, you can earn new tokens. Does anybody got any facts on that stuff?
No, not yet. I mean, it might be variable on how they go about it. And the staking will be on the staking, I think, is on the loan token that you get. So, by the way, you know, you can go to there's a lot of people in their Telegram chat. It's super busy in there, and you can check it out. And if you just search for Liquid Loans on Twitter, you can find it on there. And I did an interview with them. They seem to be good guys. I appreciate that everyone in the Hex community is protective. But the reason that I interviewed them, really, when it was kind of unpopular to talk about other things, was that I figured if I was going to launch a project as a Hexagon, all I would want is for people to listen. And so I felt like they deserve that. And I saw that Cabana posted something about that knowing Jexa is involved makes me more excited and intrigued for this. You know, if that was possible. But yeah, at the end of the day, I don't care if you don't want to use it. If you don't want to use it, the base point for me as someone that's getting Pulse, hopefully, you know, we don't know, is that there is a Hexagon-led project that allows people to get the things that they need without selling Pulse. Yeah, and I think that's millions of dollars potentially in the first year. That is not going to be dumped back on the market. And so as long as they're doing, you know, if they're doing the no admin keys, all the things that you talked about at the beginning, Rags, like, let's see how it goes. And I appreciate
it's fresh in my mind. It's just to let everybody in chat know, it is interest-free liquidity. And if you're an early adopter, users that drive growth and by contributing to the system stability early get rewarded with the loan token. These tokens can be staked in order to earn a portion of the protocol revenue stemming from borrowing and redemption fees. So essentially what happens is the protocol continuously issues loan to users who have deposited their USDL to the stability pool, and loan is issued according to a release schedule that halves the numbers of tokens distributed each year, favoring early adopters. So the earlier you get in, the more cut you get in, and there's an advantage to get in early.
And you said that from memory. You didn't just read it, did you?
No, I totally said that from memory.
Okay, got it. Just
got the
check
white paper open.
Hey,
I
real quick,
do have the white paper.
Do you get Rex? Is Sandy B from your community?
I mean, I've seen him. I wouldn't say that. I've seen Sandy B around quite a bit. But.
All right. Sorry, but my assumption is that when Riff Raff shows up, they came through. They came through a specific.
It's the rough
pipeline.
Days, man. It's the and they will show up because it's not nightfall yet. You know that they'll be after 5 o'clock. Everybody knows that.
True. Right on. Well, hey, I've got someone else I'm gonna have show up.
Another surprise.
Another one?
Not for me. I don't know how they got the link, but
oh no.
Are you there?
The suspense.
Hi.
No way.
Do you know who this is?
I have no clue, but I'm gonna pump my fist.
All right. Woohoo! Is that Jeannie?
Oh, Jeannie Lawson?
We need some audio.
All right, Jeannie, we can't hear you.
Jeannie, you there? Dude, that is so cool. While Jeannie's figuring that volume thing out, we've got
Brandon. This is your life.
You're right. I don't know, Jeannie.
We've got your long lost dog. We've got all your friends.
Dude, what is going on here, man?
This is awesome.
Jeannie, keep trying your. I want to give a shout out to a Hexagon making content here real quick. Do you guys know who? Do you know? And Jeannie, you can keep trying to talk if you can, or maybe log out and log back in. Do you guys know who Hex McKinsey is?
Hex McKenzie.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. Yes, absolutely.
Hex McKenzie is making some really sick graphics, like awesome taste. So I don't know if it's just Hex McKenzie on Twitter. I got another one that I'm a fan of.
Oh yeah.
A good meme there. Hex McKenzie did not make this one.
That's X-Ray Vision. The
That's
man, the
X-Ray
myth, the
Vision.
legend.
All right, let's try Jeannie again real quick.
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
Yeah, hey Jeannie.
Hey,
Hi.
Jeannie.
Hi, I can't figure out my camera. I'm at work and it's loud, so yeah, I want to get into Pulse and Hex, and I have a lot of questions. Like, I'm really afraid, like, once, like, is there going to be a big dump right after the launch? I just
Probably.
don't want to, like, invest, like, whatever, 500,000, 1,500, and then have it disappear,
Yeah, I mean, as everyone always says, don't invest more than you can afford to lose. But
Not financial advice.
Not financial advice. And Jeannie, I'm going to turn your volume down just for a second because it's clicking.
Okay.
But I would say that every token on launch has a run up and then a dump, because
Right.
as much as we want to think that everyone that sacrificed for Pulse is on the quote unquote same page, there's a lot of people that are just in for the pre-sale run up that would like the 5x or the 10x and be
Right.
done with it. So I think that I don't want to give you any advice on it, but just I think it's safe to say that there will be a run up and then some sort of a dump. And what I've seen in other projects recently is if you're super first, then you get to take advantage of that.
Right.
If you are a little bit late, then you buy the top. And if you're kind of a little bit later than that, then you can take advantage of that. But this is all about, I mean, we've got Cosmo Jenkins in the chat. This is all about, we're all about dips and rips. They're in the game. So
Yeah.
I would expect there to be some kind of a dump, and it just depends on what your investment strategy is. If you're looking to hold on to it long term.
Long term. Yeah. Long
Yeah.
term.
Yeah. Well, and you think about it too. I mean, if you listen to Richard talk about, people have asked him about the Pulse chain, and he's compared it to Ethereum. And if you think about, buying and holding, in a way, if you're in, regardless of whether there's that initial dump or not, there's going to be dips. But, what was the initial dump on Ethereum? And so if you got in at $4 Ethereum or you got in at $15 Ethereum, does it matter? If you're a long-term holder, you're a long-term holder, and
Yeah.
that's the thing I look at is, do we believe in the Pulse chain? And I do. And,
It sounds
long-term is
legitimate.
it? Yeah.
It sounds very legitimate. It's got a lot of great applications, and I've been doing a lot of research and watching all the videos, all Brandon's videos and Richard's videos.
Well,
And
there's the problem.
what problem?
Well,
Watching Rags to Riches. That's the
watching
problem right
Brandon's
there.
videos might give
I
you
can
a
actually
little-
understand him though. He's relatable.
That's
Does that mean
you know what, that's
something with me too?
it's true. It's
That's
a
a
true
compliment.
It's
That's a
true, and it is a
compliment.
compliment for sure. He is relatable for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. And I think you're doing the right thing. The more information that you get about it, we've got some time, for you to take a look and see, what's best for you. And then again, if you're thinking long term, like I sacrificed for Pulse, I'm just gonna get some popcorn those first couple days and watch it. I mean, I have no interest in making any moves. Even during the sacrifice phase, it was all the things that were coming up for me were the parts about me that is why I got into Hex. I didn't like having to, when do we sacrifice? What do we do? When do we make these moves? And so I'm just going to hang tight because I think that I think PulseChain is going to be amazing, but these things take time, even with the airdrops. Like 10,000 plus communities are going to get free. They're going to get to double their bags on PulseChain, and it will still take time for them to realize what a gift that is. So
yeah, and if you look, I encourage everybody to do this, especially if you're new to crypto in general. Set up a tradingview.com account. And the importance of that is you can go to each one of these charts and you can look for yourself to see what happened when they were first launched. You know, Ethereum launched. I've got the chart pulled up here. And according to this chart, they're about 13 cents, and before it took about 230 days for them to break out of that, and they dropped all the way down to 5 cents at one point. But after that, I mean, the rest is history. So I don't think it's going to be that way with Pulse for a variety of reasons, one of which is we have a much stronger community than Ethereum did at the time of Ethereum's launch.
That's right.
And we have better infrastructure in general in the cryptocurrency space to really be able to take this to the next level in a much faster fashion. We've got the infrastructure there. So yeah, I just everybody be emotionally prepared for some sort of dump, because it can happen, and it probably will. I hope it doesn't. But if it does, I'm not going to freak out, because we can look at history.
Yeah, and I thank you, Brandon, for helping me learn how to read charts.
Yeah.
Candles and
Yeah, Jeannie, you've been with us for you've been in the Rags of Riches Telegram for about 9 months now?
She gone.
Okay. Yeah, Jeannie's been around for a while. I think her friend Ray Marcotte got her in, and yeah, we just kind of go over the simple stuff. We'll share videos, we'll chit chat. But yeah, she's been a trooper. She's been a strong part of our community, and I really, really appreciate her being a part of that community with us.
Right on. So let's see. How many people we got watching? 71. All right, I got something kind of cool. It's been difficult to keep a secret, but I have a message from the real God Whale.
Hey.
Okay, so
it's pretty cool.
That's a big deal. Why don't you say that again? Because if anybody's not paying attention, they need to listen up.
Yeah. And I know people are going to be like, verify, don't trust. But so I got on earlier this week. I reached out. You know, we're just doing this. We're doing this show for fun. But because we're having fun with it, I keep trying to think of, you know, what new interesting things can we do. And I thought it would be the natural thing was like, what if we got the God Whale to stream with us? And then I'm like, well, that's not
Mike.
be.
It's Mike.
Yeah, there we go.
Mike is the God Whale.
Yeah.
Tell him what I told road trucker Mike.
Yeah, exactly. So but I was like, you know, for obvious reasons, I'm not going to ask, but I sent him a note, and or they sent them a note, I'll say, and said, hey, listen, here's what we're doing.
Whale
you want me to do a whale voice?
Dude, I will totally pull up a whale sample.
Anyway, I don't want to make a bigger deal of it than it is, except I want to say something afterwards. And Matt, because Michael Morton called you the David Attenborough of Hex, I'd like to have you read it.
Okay, so this is a message directly from the real God Whale.
The real God Whale. So I basically said, hey, if you got anything that you want us to share, we'll read it on air. And so they sent me a message. They said, hey, really like what you guys are doing. And so I put it on a nice little graphic here. But
well, I would guess from that response that we're about to read here that the God Whale is watching right now, Krypto Panda. So let me read this. Okay, so this is directly from the real God Whale. Hex is a way to solve one of the biggest problems the world faces today: centralized fiat money. If we can fix our money, we can fix our world. That's so true. So by being involved with Hex, onboarding new people, and thereby spreading financial sovereignty, we are not only helping manifest the world we want to see, but we will get rich in the process as well. The Hex community is becoming a force to be reckoned with, and slowly but surely, we will become the new movers and shakers of this world. God knows we need good people with financial power to be able to help change the world for better, just like me. God bless you all, and I wish everyone the best of luck. The real God Whale. Krypto Panda, that is incredible that you reached out, and incredible that the God Whale responded. This is breaking news, folks.
It's kind of cool, man. I mean, I didn't want to. I know that Hex. I'm the same way. I didn't want to be like, oh, we got a special message from the God Whale, and then like have it sit for 4 days, because
Yeah.
every time someone does that, I get annoyed, and I figured people might, do the same. But the reason that I like this is because it's one of the reasons why I started making videos and streaming, and it's one of the reasons that I like watching all your guys' videos, and why we started doing this together is it's been easy to talk about the drama. It's been easy to be upset about certain things, even though we're staked and we know the way that this works. But this isn't about hero worship. It's not about making a big deal, about the guy. Well, but you know what? For me, it's about gratitude. It's about recognizing that whales are in every crypto community, and some of them are not benevolent. Some of them are not cool. They're not on that. They're just there to extract value and maintain their position. And the fact that everyone's known about the guy, well, now this person is active in the community. And you can see the messages that when they're responding on Twitter, the message that it's about doing good. And it just felt like super on brand with the things that we're talking about here. So,
hey, one of the things I want to emphasize on that message there too, if you've looked at the Real God Whales tweets, what I find fascinating is somebody that is, an ETH whale and a Hex whale and soon to be a Pulse whale. There are many people out in this chat and watching right now who will be whales themselves for the next projects, right? And I think what I took from that was, I've been there and I've done that. He's got the t-shirt, right? He or she is someone who is, has the things that a lot of people think they want. And what was the message from the God Whale? It's do good, benevolent, but also in a post previously on Twitter, it was about spiritual fulfillment, which I thought was really interesting. This idea of going from success, which I think we think money equals success, to significance, which means how can you do things that are significant? And to me, I mean, that's been this underlying current in all of our messages, is how do we help people? And to see somebody that's already gotten to where we want to be saying, this is really what you need to be considering is huge.
Yeah, and one thing that I've been meaning to put on Twitter, amongst all of this, I mean, people say infighting. I'll be quite honest, I really don't pay much attention to it. I don't know who the actors are. The neat thing about Hex and the neat thing about Pulse is Hex and Pulse don't give a damn about the infighting. The contract is going to execute the same way every single time. And if you can keep your focus on that one single thing and you can remain positive, you've got nothing to worry about. It's all good. It's all good. And you have the choice to go down one road or go down the other road. Choose the positive road. Makes you a lot happier.
Yep.
Yeah, I funneled my inner Crypto Heartbeat just now. Did you guys see that?
That's right.
I heard that, man. I heard that. And your voice started to go in that soothing direction.
The Holy Spirit. Did you see
Yeah.
that?
That's right. That's right. Well, I got to be careful you don't start flying your freaky flag.
Hey, don't worry about that. Hey, that's coming one day.
That's right. Well, hey, I just want to say to Krypto Panda, I want to say thank you for, I mean, that's boldness, right? You're stepping out there. You're, I mean, that's what it's all about. And the fact that the Godwell responded, to me, that's such a neat thing, because we need encouragement, right? There are people who are discouraged, and that's the beauty of this community. So thanks for doing that.
Yeah, of course. It wasn't comfortable. I mean, I was like, because I see people on Twitter all the time, please, God, before they were active, do something, damn it. But I was just like, hey, if you want to say something, if not, I totally understand. Just look at this as a message of gratitude because it really comes down to all the feelings that people have had about it, a level of confidence. It's great that I want them to stay anonymous. But it really, for me, it came down to, like, I love the fact that it was a positive message. And we talked about this at the very beginning, like this idea of the hex flex or doing good. Like, you don't have to wait. you don't have to wait until you sell your hex to do good stuff. I mean, Brandon, what you're doing for that family is amazing. And the fact that you just started and have what's $1,200 already,
$1,200 already. Yep.
$1,200 to take care of a family, during this holiday season, I think is kick ass.
Now,
what's Mike think about all this?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Mike, like, what's your boots on the ground, man? Like,
yeah,
what's your take on it, man? We chatted a little bit last week about it, a couple days ago.
What part? We talking about your collections?
No, just in general about the community and how things are going, and I know you have some opinions on that.
I'll be fair. Honestly, I think that at the end of the day, a lot of it really doesn't matter because the charts are going to do what the charts are going to do. I just got on Twitter and I'm there for the information because it seems to hit quicker. The news seems to hit there the quickest. In the meantime, the fighting is just kind of entertainment to me. I think it's silly. Obviously, you've seen me call a lot of people out, but it's not so much about like even paying attention to that as like, where are the people that aren't making noise? Where are the quiet ones that are sitting in the back that like aren't participating in the drama? I want to hear from those people. I want to hear from the people that are still like happy that they're in this community and they want to talk about other things. I didn't swear because Matt's on here.
Oh,
nice job.
Thank you so much. I've never heard it before.
Yeah, I've never heard Matt say a bad word.
Matt after 8. Yeah. Gosh.
Well, that's why I like we're on Panda's channel because it's like it's not as like slumming it as being on Brandon's, but it's not sophisticated as Matt's. So I fit it. I like that.
He is the mediator.
Yeah, I have like I'm like sort of flavors.
Like,
hey, Mike, did you notice these this live stream upgrade, man? The new logos and all that. We can blame Panda for that. He's really stepped up to the plate and made this a nice little thing. So
he's
Panda,
doing a bit.
Yeah,
I spent I spent all of our super chats from last stream, so the venture's back in the red. And any super chats today are going, being donated to a family. So
I just
keep hustling.
Panda was the first hex video. He was one of the first hex videos I've ever seen when I started looking into it, and it was the first sub that I gave to a hex member of the community. Is that right? You say that right? But anyways, he was one of the first dudes to follow me on Twitter when I had like no followers. And I'm like, I thought that was pretty cool. He's somebody that I look up to on screen, and he's not Twitter and he's not being this, guy that thinks he's somebody that he's not and, acting important. And this guy has no followers, so I'm not going to get behind him. I just thought that was pretty cool of him. So thank you. And I think you're all killing it. So keep it up.
Thanks, man.
You guys, I think the dream team. So keep going.
I gotta correct you though. I am something. I am pretending to be something I'm not because I'm a fucking cartoon panda.
I wish you just
Twitter.
turned right there. That would have been dope.
Yeah, when I told my wife I was talking to Krypto Panda, she laughed as well. But I would say I'm gonna echo that too, Mike. That I had like 50 followers, and I reached out to Panda and said, "Hey, would you be my first interview?" And he was willing to do it. And the same thing with Brandon. These guys, when we didn't have any followers, they're willing to come on and support. So anyone who's considering making content, I always say there's, you have a unique voice and you're going to attract a group of people. And I would just say, go for it.
Yeah. And by the way, this message from Johnny Chaos is perfect too. I mean, we're seeing this. It's like at some point, people are going to do this and create content until it's not fun anymore, not interesting, or they get busy with other things. So encouraging anyone else to create content, get on streams. I mean, you look at like, I love crypto culture. I love aspects of it. I even like the degen stuff, like seeing what's going on with that. There's nothing like this in any other crypto. There's nothing like this. There aren't literally dozens and dozens and dozens of people. There aren't live streams every freaking day that you can send to and that you can send people to. And there's different streamers and different content creators for different types of people that are interested, different onboards. So you can take your pick. And so there's the more people that are coming on. There's so many talented hexagons that are like, how do I contribute? What do I do? If you're feeling a calling, do it. So Johnny Chaos doesn't have to stream anymore.
That's right.
But by the way, Sorry.
He's
Go ahead.
live streaming on Twitter. He doesn't have to stream.
Yeah.
Got
Am I
videos
the only one? Am I the only one that when he does his videos and he says "okay" at the end, that I add an extra like
No.
expletive for the person, like "okay, dickwad, okay, asshole," you know, like it just comes out of my head. It makes me crack up every time, but it's the best "okay" ever.
Dude, he's like when I think back, he's responsible for me kind of getting latched on to Hex too. Like I remember when his videos on YouTube weren't getting anything, but I'm like, who's this guy out in suburbia on his back deck next to a grill in the fall talking just trash right now? Who is this guy? I love it. I love it. So that he kind of got me researching things too. So I think I'm talking about the right guy, right?
Yeah, with and he has the masks.
Yeah, like he could be a character on Highlander. That yeah.
I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it.
And so there's a question. I'm going to try to answer it. It had something to do with it was in chat 3.69.
Oh, you want me to pull that up?
Yeah, let me just kind of take a stab at it.
That's Thomas 91, I think.
Yeah, so my concern is with current prices and an annual inflation of 3.69%, there needs to be around $6 billion coming in every year to pay out the interest just to keep the current price afloat. So there's two things that you need to consider here. The first thing is it's a maximum of 3.69%. Okay, so it's a max of 3.69%. You got to understand that when people stake their hex, it burns supply. We only have about 70 to 75 billion of supply left in the first place. So I think your argument is coming from a place of everybody's going to stay staked forever and it's just going to shoot up and up and up and up. That's not, it's more of a dynamic system than that. I see where you're coming from with this, but just know that there are staking mechanisms that burn, and then there's minting mechanisms as well after those stakes are over, as well as early end stakes. So that doesn't need to be a concern of yours. All right.
Thanks for tackling that, man. You know, the other thing is I maybe this is foolish, but I've been in Hex long enough and asked all the different, questions I had, not doubts, but it was just kind of verifying on things. But I just know that there are people smarter than me that are watching all these things, that all of these levers have been considered, that all of the levels of things have also been considered. And it ends up in this trustless way. I end up trusting Richard Hart and the team to do this. And so Thomas 91, I get in terms of how it is that you may look at other cryptos and see like aspects of inflation, things with market cap. But at the end of the day, I personally I can't do the math to try to figure out how I'd prove it wrong. And with the math that I can do, it's made sense to just trust Richard and the team.
One of the things that I think is a good thought experiment to do is, let's say you had some coin that never changed price. So whether it's stable coin or not, and you had this function of staking, and it was set up exactly the same way as Hex 3.69, but the price you didn't have any price appreciation. Is that a good product? And this idea that you have consolidated inflation, this 3.69%, consolidated to the stakers, and then you've got penalties for emergency end stakes. That is what a typical certificate of deposit would be. We just have this bonus on top of it, which is price appreciation. And this is a window of time. We call this the pre-viral show. If you think about Hex in its pre-viral state, institutions are not in it. It is a financial instrument. And, you think about that from a perspective of a bond that has some sort of maturity. You know what to expect with a bond. Well, you know what to expect with Hex as well. But the price appreciation is a whole different ball of wax when you throw it in. And so to me, this is a unique time, because in the future, at some point in time, and this may be 10, 15 years down the road, the price appreciation won't be as strong a growth as it is now. But the distance it has to run is really related to its exposure and demand. And that's why I feel like, we're all doing these streams and sharing this with folks, because people do not realize that there's an option like this. Like, I'm in the nonprofit space, and there's billions upon billions of dollars that are tied up in the endowments of nonprofit organizations, and they're happy with 3 to 5%. And they have no idea that there's an instrument out there with yield beyond that. And so even if it's just a small portion of it, there's so much good that could happen in this world if those folks got in. And that's not even considering pension funds. That's not even considering an alternative to the bond market. And so, that's something you got to keep in mind, is you got to really look at what is the future, 10 years out look like when it comes to adoption with a financial instrument like this.
Absolutely. And I couldn't have said that better myself. Motley Investor, highlight that comment for us, because he
All right.
answers that directly.
Let me find it real quick. Terrafin, all this equipment is Brandon, so that we got to have him on the show.
Don't talk to Terrafin. He's not worth talking to. I assure you. He's a freaking
no. It's basically no
asshole.
rags, no show. So we got to put up with him. Hang on 1 second.
Brandon.
Valiant Brand is in.
Oh,
the
anyway.
house, Brandon.
Valiant Brand. All right, here you go. You want to read this?
Yeah, 3.69%. This is from Motley Investor. 3.69% is fixed, but due to the staking feature, a lot of that inflation paid in the form of interest is differed for years. And with the design of the T-share system, most of the hex minted is restaked as well. So yeah, it's complex, it's cyclical. You see that turnover, in stake, restake. So I wouldn't worry about that. I think his name was Justin. Valiant Brand, shout out. Shane T, Mike Burton shouting out to Motley Investor. Thank you guys so much for coming on. Thank you.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Yo.
Why are people still sacrificing?
Dude, that's a good question. I don't know. I feel like there's some hidden information out there at this point, because there's been some big numbers coming in. It's weird.
What do you think, Panda?
I want to ask you guys. I've been talking a lot. I'd rather listen.
What you got, Matt?
Well, I mean, I think it's FOMO at the end of the day, and you're taking a big risk by, not just the potential bonding curve, but there's no guarantees. And so that's what's, I think, hard about this idea that, the sacrifice ended 19 days after, and the suggestion when you go into chat, the folks are like, do not do it. And still there are folks doing it. And I think they think, that it just goes to show you, it's an indication of the demand that is on Pulse. And, people are taking the risk, saying, hey, I think it's going to be, if I can get in at the lowest possible price, maybe this is it. So I don't recommend it to folks, but it's happening.
Yeah. And I think Valiant Brand talked about this like a couple weeks ago, and he basically made the point, like, if somebody wants to take their money and they want to sacrifice their money, who are we to like tell them not to? Of course, none of us are saying that, but it's a decision that you have to make. If you weren't here for the sacrifice phase, you just have to weigh the risks, you have to weigh the rewards, and you just got to see if it's right for you. It all boils down to this: are you going to get a better entry point at launch than you will right now? Are you going to be able to get more bang for your buck at launch than you would right now? And I would encourage people to watch Richard Hart's stream last night, and you might want to analyze his body language when he's talking about that, and kind of analyze the tone of his voice, and kind of analyze. It seemed like some of the hints. I could be way off, but just be smart about it. Let me ask you guys this, Panda. When do you think, at this point, just to guess, when do you think Pulse would launch based on what you've heard?
Well, let me say what I really think about people sacrificing for Pulse.
Oh, cool.
I try to get out of it. So we sacrificed with no expectation of anything. We didn't sacrifice for Pulse points. We sacrificed for free speech with no expectation of anything. So if you're telling someone now, by the way, I'm not scolding anybody. I'm just on a rant. No, if you're telling people that now's not a good time to sacrifice, you're basically telling them now's not a good time to sacrifice for free speech. So what people are doing when they're advising people to do something or not do something is they are having an expectation of some sort of return for that sacrifice. And the one person who doesn't tell people not to is Richard Hart. And by the way, that's a really good note there, Rags, about watching, because someone asked him about it last night. I didn't see his body language, but every time someone asks, he says, yep. He doesn't say I wouldn't. He doesn't say you shouldn't. And maybe he's being careful. He is very careful about things. And if he's holding the line that it is a sacrifice for free speech, then there's that.
And Mike, you seem like you had something to say about that.
So I have a question about, you guys watched the stream with Richard. For a while on Twitter, it seemed to be that people were saying, if you didn't sacrifice, you weren't going to be able to get any Pulse upon launch. The only way to get it was from people that had it from sacrifice. I'm sure you guys have heard that.
That happened, yeah.
Didn't RH put that to bed the other night?
No, he put it to bed. I think he put it to bed a while ago.
Oh, okay, I'm just behind on it.
No, not that you're behind on it. It's just that it's not common. It's probably not common knowledge. There's a lot of different information coming out, but I think, am I correct in saying that, guys?
I don't know about that part.
Okay. I thought that I heard him. I thought that I heard him say, well, yeah, you can still sacrifice up to this point and you'll still get Pulse. But last night he mentioned that, it drops by 5% every single day.
Yep.
Yeah.
The amount that you're going to get. And that's been a long time since the end of the sacrifice phase.
Well, I think that there's, that part of, there was rumors that the only way to get Pulse was from people who sacrificed in the beginning, right? And if there was no bridge that was coming over from Ethereum, the only way to get in there was through Hex or Pulse, right? So I could see if a lot of people still think that they're, I helped 2 people sacrifice yesterday, I'm not going to lie, but it was small amounts of money and it was just in case they needed some Pulse to make transactions for whatever, obviously, $50, $100, whatever it was, something they didn't mind losing, but just in case. So I wonder if there's a lot of that still, but those are small amounts. Shouldn't make a big deal.
Yeah. Well, one of the things you said, Panda, previously, and I think this is really interesting, and I wonder if it's intentional from Richard or not, and this idea that the bonding curve has become essentially pre-market price discovery. You want to comment about that?
You mean in terms of like showing what the market will pay?
Yeah. I mean, if people are buying something, if you will, right, they're sacrificing for something. And I know you scolded us over that, but at the end of the day, there is a pre-market price appreciation that happens. And there's to me, it's a really interesting way to look at, value. And, to me, I think it's pretty incredible to see almost a price discovery happening pre-market.
Yeah, I think it's great. I don't know if you look at the people that did it, the individuals that are doing it, there are obviously more people on the front end. So there is something to be said for looking at what the market will pay for something. So obviously someone that sacrifices today is going to hold. But a bunch of people that just like pre-sales got in on the first, 5 days. And so they could do whatever their, our friend Jeannie was asking if it's going to dump, so they can do their dump. But yeah, all of this is fascinating to me. Like, what's going to happen? I feel like that's the game that we play. And now we have all these different scenarios, all these different things that we can look at. Whereas before it was just Hex, and now, I mean, just even saying, I wonder what the token is going to be for Pulse Swap. People coming up with, with different ways. So I don't know. My assumption in just watching how things go is just that it's going to go crazy wild. And then there's going to be a dump, and then it will pick back up again. I don't know over what time frame, but
yeah, Richard said in one of the meetups I heard, and it was just a side comment. He said, basically the design of this is not to have as big a dump as, after big payday. And it makes a lot of sense to me that, if you think about how Hex got started with the transform lobby with Bitcoin, I mean, a lot of people got that for free. And this is different in the sense that this sacrifice set, this isn't a freebie giveaway. And I think that plays into the fact that, fewer people are just, looking to cash out. But he did mention that it's not designed to to dump as much as other things have in the past, and I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and if we have, just like he said in the past, if we have a pathway back to liquidity somehow to the ETH network, then technically, it's still going to be constrained in terms of supply and demand, but there's still a path. And somebody made the point that like you're not going to be able to sell your Pulse because there's not going to be enough liquidity. I don't know enough about this process, but it would seem with the amount of money that we've had sacrificed up until this point, and the built-in market makers, the 2% for Pulse to and all that, filling out the liquidity pools. I don't think that that's going to be an issue. But I will say this too: it's obvious with Hex we don't play with a lot of liquidity, and I think that's on purpose.
Yeah.
That pushes the price up. It just creates that extra pressure. So I would expect that on Pulse as well, and I would also expect a huge demand to occur within the first 2 or 3 months once people start figuring out that all they got to do is change a couple settings in their MetaMask and they have a freaking Christmas over and over again. On top of the fact that companies are going to find out that they didn't have to spend tens of millions of dollars to set up their company on a brand new chain, and they've got a copy ready to go, and maybe all they have to do is set up a front end and back end. I think there's so many things that just point to Pulse being an incredibly strong project. Incredibly, there's just so much value there. So
there's a big opportunity I see as well, is that we're going to get there's going to be some people kind of flashing indication from some of these other projects. I mean, think about this: the amount of time, effort, energy, and gas fees it takes to deploy something on a blockchain. I don't care which one it is. And so you've got all of these projects out there. Imagine you're one of these projects that, doesn't like the gas fees on Ethereum, right? Maybe it's been a, limiting factor, which it's been for Hex. And you see this opportunity, you go, you know what? They're going to signal to us that they're going to be providing liquidity. The other thing that's crazy is if you're holding some of these other ERC20s, the idea of having a bridge and being able to basically do this yield farming with a free copy on the other side, that's another thing that just adds instant value to these projects. And that, to me, I think that I've been reading between the lines with Richard on live streams, and I can tell in his eye, he's like, yield farming is an enormous opportunity for people who are holding existing ERC20s that are going to get a copy to be able to come over on that V2 and provide the pair. And this LP token and all this stuff, I mean, there's a lot going on here opportunity wise. And I'm hoping that somebody's out there paying attention to these signals from these projects of who's going to come over. Knowing who's going to be coming over are opportunities that I'm looking to check out.
That's good. I got a video coming out about one that would be awesome if it is. And Brad King, I like this. Late sacrifices are going to be longer term holders. And I have another one that I want to show. And I'm sorry that I scolded you. I'm feeling bad, but no, you know what it is? It's like, think about how long it took you to love Hex. Like how many weeks, how many months did it take you where someone told you about it and you're like, okay, you kind of dipped your toes in the water, and then all of a sudden you become a super fan. For me, it didn't take long. It was early February, late January, early February. And then it was just like, I couldn't get enough of it. Super fan within weeks. And it's just grown. There's been that amount of time from someone who learned about Hex that was not around for the sacrifice and is now, as much as they can, is ingrained in the community, is watching the videos, is doing all the different things. And I know that we're not supposed to be emotionally tied to assets. But then you look at the community and you look at where things are. And I agree with the Dutch Hexagon. People want to have Genesis Pulse coins and be part of the sacrifice set in case of future airdrops.
Oh, yeah.
Also, just to say, if you sacrifice, you participated in the PulseChain sacrifice right now, today. Like, yep. You were in before it went live. There's something to that. Whether it's, like Mike said, whether it's a couple of bucks for gas or whatever it is. So it's not about being emotionally attached to it, but just saying, hey, I sacrificed so that I'm there because I love Hex. I didn't know about this then, and I want a piece I want a piece of this when it goes live. And I can't blame anyone for that, because this is all these things are the best thing ever, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
From Motley.
Go ahead, Matt.
There's just some good advice from Motley there. He says, but if you're new to LP farming, be careful, do your research first. I agree. You know, there's an opportunity there, but if you don't understand it, you got to be careful. And I think that's wise advice. That's
Learn about impermanent
financial
loss.
advice. Yeah, impermanent loss is big. Yep.
All right, man. Chat's going crazy. Let me grab a couple. 3x tiers. All right. Hey, can I tell you guys something cool?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Please.
So my kids' school, the director sent out a note and was asking. They said they're building a new technology lab, and so my wife and I donated to it. Didn't sell any hex to do it, and about a week or two later, they contacted us and said, "Thank you so much for the donation. That was like super generous. Can we name the technology lab after you?"
Is it the Krypto Panda Technology Lab?
It's the Pandas Lab. And I said,
Tommy.
I said, no, I don't, we don't want it after our names. It's not kind of how we roll about things. But I said, what about this? And kind of gave her some information, and they approved. It's going to be called the Heart Technology Lab. Or Heart Lab. So pretty cool. And she's a Hex kid. So I just want to share that, because again, this sort of theme of like, I didn't sell hex to do it. But I consider it a hex flex because of the hex that I have and staked and the T-shares that we have for our family. I know our future is taken care of. So that lets us approach the day-to-day from abundance. It allows us to give in the ways that we want to give now, not from selling hex. And I don't, by the way, sell it. Take your gains. I have no anger, frustration towards anyone that wants to sell any hex that they have. Do it. And that includes people that stake. That includes everyone. I don't want to have that judgment on me.
People get mad at that. It's crazy. It's like, dude, what do you think we're in this for? It's like, we're here to make money. And
yeah. And I can see it's true. You're right. But I can also see, like, Justin, we got some momentum, like it feels like a couple steps back. But yeah, of course. That's why someone says, hey, check out this watch I bought. I bought a truck. I retired my mom. Like, you're always getting a like and a thumbs up from me, no matter what, because I hope that when the time comes, I'll get the same. Imagine being so excited, you delay gratification, and then you do this and people get mad at you. It's like, that's not what we're doing this for. So,
well, Panda, I want to stop and recognize. I mean, here's something that you guys gave, your family gave. They're recognizing it, and you're giving Richard the credit, saying, "Hey, this is the Heart Lab." I just want to know if the logo is a candelabra or a top hat. That's the question I've got for you.
I don't know how they're. I'm trying to get a good. I don't know. They're gonna do like a laser cut wood sign for it. But yeah, I'll take a picture of it.
Well, good on you, man. Good work.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It was cool. I didn't expect them to offer a name, but it was pretty simple to come up with one.
Hey, at the bottom here, Flat Earth Underground. Can we highlight that comment real quick?
I need to read it first.
All right, Flat Earth Underground. Why is the guy on the bottom left wearing glasses? Hold on a second.
Oh, now it's on the bottom right.
Bottom right.
Oh, bottom left. Yeah, bottom right. Let me see if you can see this. But if we put this right up to the candle, you can see that curvature on my glasses.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it's pretty important. There's proof right there, and this is not a fisheye lens.
That's a fisheye lens, dude.
I think it might be, dude. It might be. But I mean, the thing is that you're showing this in a studio. You produced it in a studio, so it's
a Kubrick thing. Hey, can we have a segment, Panda? Can we have a segment on the next live stream that is?
Whoa, hold on, super chat, $199, $200.
Oh man, Bit Finesse, thank you so much. By the way, just so everyone knows, well, here, let's do the shout out first.
It's all you, Panda.
Go ahead, Rex.
Oh no, you got it, man.
Amazing stream, gentlemen. Do me a favor and shout out my buddy Luke, former Marine, who's
Luke.
huge in the Liberty community. Now you know this was live. Hex is the only thing that lets you grow your crypto trustlessly.
Hoorah!
What's up, Luke?
Oh, Luke.
Yeah, Luke, man.
Simple 5
And,
more. Never mind.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Simple 5, baby.
and you can see the rest of it. It's kind of a long chat, but thank you so much. Bitfinesse, I don't know if you were here earlier, but all the super chats today are going to the Rags to Riches family. What are you calling it? Events?
Yeah, it's Rags
take
to
care
Riches
of a family.
Christmas. Yeah, it's like
Rags to
Christmas
Riches
month.
Christmas. So and that includes I'm gonna cover I'll cover YouTube's fees. So it's a straight up $199.99.
Dude,
But
thank
thank
you
you
so
so much for that. We're trying to you got $1,200.
Yeah, I've got $1,200 in 2 days total.
Hey, where
About $1,200, like maybe $1,150.
where
But
can
Yeah.
now,
And for
Now,
those who
wow.
just joined, I think it's important to mention. So this is a family within the community that's you're working with an agency. These dollars are going to go to bless this family. You're going to actually share that impact with us on video because not everybody knows that, and I think that's incredible, Rags, that you're willing to do that and make a difference in folks' lives. So every single super chat that comes in is going to go to that family, and you're going to get to share in the joy of Rags to Riches' generosity, and that's really through you guys. So thank you.
and you guys get to vote on whether or not I dress up as Santa, the Grinch, Rudolph, or a fairy or
Or
something.
a
An elf.
flat earther.
And
I don't know how I can pull that off, bro. I'll dress up
And-
as Dave Weiss. How about
Rags,
that?
if
man?
someone in
Where
your,
you
if
at?
someone in your community says they want you to dress up as Satan, you just need to say it's a typo because
Yeah.
you can't vote for that. Cannot vote for that.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
and let me go ahead.
no, I just wanted to ask Panda if we can have a conspiracy segment next time we do this stream.
Nope.
Just a little segment. We have to create an intro for it, but I think conspiracy time is a good time because a lot of Brandon's followers feel left out on the stream.
I don't think
Well,
they
they
do.
can't-
I don't think they do or care. They're here anyway.
They can't GPS triangulate me, which makes me happy. It's kind of like the
can't even
Amish
say-
can't use
he can't even
electricity.
say
They
what
can't
it
use
is-
GPS.
You can't even say what your real license plate is.
Yeah,
I
that's
can't.
true.
I've shared it. You guys just don't know where it's at. It's online.
Oh, okay. But yeah, but hey, man, Luke, that's a great super chat. I'm trying to figure. I don't know how to show the whole thing. Highest returns in all of finance so far for 2020 and 2021. That's awesome. So let's see. I wrote some notes on things we should talk about.
I got a question real quick.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, of course, man.
Brandon, you said you had an ETH wallet set up for those donations. Where could we
Yep.
find the rest? I think it'd be
We're gonna
better.
put that. So today I set up an ETH wallet because somebody asked me if they could donate Hex. So I set up a separate one, and we're gonna put that in the description of this video right after this.
Cool.
That means that it will be public, and you guys can see any money coming in or going out. And I'm also going to make sure that I share the receipts with everybody, just to give you guys confidence that I'm not a dirtbag. I'm a dirtbag, but not that type of dirtbag.
Cool.
You're one of the good ones.
You didn't bite on that, Matt. I'm surprised,
No.
dude.
Hey,
Did
I
you see him? His
He's
head
like-
almost exploded. His head almost exploded. He wanted.
no. Hey, I told you you're my big brother, even though I'm older than you.
Well, gosh, man, I feel honored. I do.
Well, you care about people. It's obvious.
Well,
Most
that makes me feel special, but I don't know what to do with compliments, so I'm just
Yeah, I know
going
you
to
don't. I know you don't.
self-deprecate.
That's all right.
There are levels. I like Motley's. There are levels to dirtbaggery. Yeah, you're up there. Is what's better, being high up or down low?
Dude, I am the whale of dirtbags. I'm a sperm whale, full-blown sperm whale, dude. I'm at the top of the charts. Bad.
Hey, put that chat on by Shane T. He says I sold all my Tom Brady rookie cards to get into Hex
Whoa.
and PulseChain. You can't get more emotional than that. That's true. If you're selling your Tom Brady rookie cards to get into Hex, that is a pretty emotional separation. So,
Well, just think
True.
you'll be able to buy them back in a year or two,
Yeah.
so you're okay.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
guess that makes sense. That's
That's a good point.
what a great move though.
Oh yeah.
You know, but also I can imagine that'd be emotional.
Yeah.
I'll be seeing Tom Brady December 2nd. We're going to Tampa to go see him. Actually,
Yeah,
Hmm.
definitely the GOAT.
So if there's people in this chat right now, they're upset because they don't have money to invest in crypto. That's a BS excuse. From this point moving forward, because I'm going to teach you how to do this. I'm going to teach you how to do it with no money. You probably need a car. And actually, you don't even need a car. You just need public transit. And I got this from Gary Vee, and I actually put it into play years ago. You can go on Craigslist. You can go on Facebook Marketplace, and you can find stuff
Garage sales.
absolutely free. All you got to do is pick it up. So you're saying, well, Brandon, I mean, if I got to go across town, I got to pick up a desk, and I got to bring it back, and I'm only going to make like $10 after it sells after 3 days. Like, why would I do that? Well, my question to you is, what's the ROI on doing nothing?
Yeah.
Right. So you guys, you can make money that way. You can build your stack small, and then it's slow for about a month or two, and then you can start buying bigger and bigger stuff and flip it. You can take your stuff, clean it up, put it on eBay, put it on Facebook Marketplace, put it outside with a for sale sign, and you can make money that way. And I know because I've done it. Gary Vee helped me in that way. My niche was electronics. Once you get to about $100 to $150, you can go onto Craigslist and you can find people selling electronics. And every single night, you just email these people. You look for $100 to $150 and you lowball them by 30 to 70%. Send out 100 emails. I guarantee you one person's going to bite. Actually, probably about 30 emails. You get that discounted item and then you flip it on eBay. So that's simple. They provide the shipping for you. All you got to do is print it out. You just take it to the post office, drop it off, or you can schedule a pickup. And you just keep doing that over and over again. You will be surprised how quickly your bankroll can pick up. And you can use that to invest. You can do DoorDash. You can mow lawns. You can, you can do Uber. There's so many things that you can do to make money. In this society, in Western culture, there's no reason for you to have an excuse of not being able to make money. Unless you're impaired. And even then, I'd probably make fun of you. But I'm a dirtbag, so it doesn't matter.
Well, and also to be clear, if your choices are doing nothing or breaking into Motley's house and stealing his Pokemon cards, do nothing. Do nothing.
Jigglypuff. Ugh.
But there are other things that you can do. Mike,
it looks like you had something to say.
Crypto Gains Club, good to see you.
What you were saying with the eBay stuff, you got Facebook Marketplace too. I emptied my whole garage to get into Hex. You know, I'm talking Harleys, golf carts, my kids' dirt bikes. Not all of them, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, Marketplace is a good one.
All right,
man, you know what? And you want to if you use. I know other people like using stakehex.today. I still use HexCalc because I'm old school. But if you look at anything that you could sell, anything that you could sell, and you go into HexCalc and you look at what the return will be from that amount of money staked for certain days, like that kid's bicycle, your kid's bicycle could be worth tens of thousands of dollars.
Dude, you can steal catalytic converters. You can steal the copper off HVAC units, guys.
Siphon gas.
Buildings. Dude, there's so much opportunity out there, especially after dark. Soda cans, aluminum, you get 5 cents in Connecticut. And what's this Michael tell you? Right, Mike?
Something like that.
5 cents per can, dude. It's on the back of every can. Nevada and Connecticut. Come on, dude.
Hey,
tonight on a very special Rags to Riches stream.
Tragedy strikes. Rags to Riches is shot on top of a building in downtown New Hampshire with a handful of copper and soda cans.
It's a Seinfeld episode, I think.
Yeah, correct.
Oh my god! All right, so I got a story for you, and I want to hear your best flip if you've made one. So I'll go to garage sales and to like estate sales, and I lived up in Dallas, and there was a neighborhood in Dallas that was just mega rich, and there'd be estate sales there, and I just go around to take a look, and I found this vellum tube. The guy that passed away was an architect. and he had this vellum tube. And if you've ever seen those old cardboard tubes that fit together, down inside there were a bunch of blueprints, and this was in the corner of the office, and it was half price day. And so I took this vellum tube to the front and I asked them how much, and I think it was for $15, and they said no, it's $7.50 today. I'm
Whoa.
like, all right, I'll take it. Well, there were all of these blueprints packed down inside of this, and of course, if you're a old school architect and you're saving anything, I mean, you've done a lot of plans. So I finally am able to dig these things out, and I've got, or at that time, I pulled out it was a class project that this guy had done when he was in college at Tulane in 1928. And he had surveyed the campus for his class project, getting into it. And it was the old campus in 1928. I put it in a frame and sold it for $350 on eBay.
Wow.
And it was crazy. So there are so many little things you don't realize that are out there. I've gone through books and found, signed first editions. I mean, if you're willing to look, there's plenty of value out there.
It's like a 40. That's like a 46X, bro.
Yeah, it was pretty.
$7.50
awesome.
to $350.
Yeah. And there was much more in there too. So yeah, you just never know what you'll find. You got to be a treasure hunter, I think, to play that game.
You got to love the grind. And
Yeah.
that's fun. That type of stuff's fun, man.
It is.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I just steal money from my mom's wallet. I go upstairs.
Upstairs out of the
She's
basement.
sleeping. Yeah. Sleeping, watching her programs.
Krypto, he goes and buys a dime bag of freaking dope, and he smokes his detention slip, rolls it up in his detention slip, just crushing it. I know you, Krypto. Look at you. You're just laughing. I know, Panda. Hey, one thing that you guys can also look into, and this helped me out tremendously. You can look into, if you're in the States, you can look into real estate wholesaling and land wholesaling. All right. And I'm going to give you a little example here. I stumbled upon this. I think it was through Robert Kiyosaki's series. I've read all his books, read his tax books and all that stuff. But essentially what you can do, you can get in your car and you can drive through a neighborhood and you find the most busted house in the neighborhood, most jacked up house you can find. There's no curtains in the windows. The grass is 6 feet high. The trash can is in the middle of the yard. It's upside down. The roof is falling apart. And what you can do, you can go on Fiverr.com with the address and you can find out who owns that. They can actually get you all the information of that owner. They can get you the email address. They can get you the phone number. You can do any of that. And what you can do in some states, now you guys got to make sure that this is on the up and up in your state. You can contact the owner. You can put that house under contract for a certain amount. And then you can go out to investors in your community and you can flip that contract to your investors. Okay, so let's say I put the house under contract for $100,000, and I know that house is worth $200,000, but it's pretty jacked up. I put it under contract for $100,000. I contact some investors in the area and say, hey, listen, I can sell this to you for $110,000. You make a $10,000 spread with no money whatsoever. And this is a complete. I know it sounds crazy, but it's a completely legit. It's called bird dogging. And it feeds a lot of the real estate investors, a lot of the flippers. They have relationships with these people, and it takes absolutely no money. You just got to go out there and find the busted up properties. So my first real estate deal was a wholesale deal for about $12,500, and it took me about 3 months to learn and get enough courage to just go do it. And it's a really great way to use some of that money and flip back into investing in crypto.
It sounds like you just described how to steal and sell a house.
Isn't that it's crazy?
Yeah.
But here's the catch. In some states, contracts can be assignable. All right. And you can put a clause in the contract, and as long as you're very straightforward with the owner and you say, hey, listen, either myself or one of my investors is going to purchase this house from you in the next 45 days. This will be contingent upon an inspection. And if it doesn't work out, we'll rip the contract up and you're free to go with whoever you need to go with. But they like it because There's not people taking tours of their house. Okay. There's no money paid out to realtors. The cash that you agree on is the exact cash that they're going to get. And you can close within, 14 to 30 days. So to some folks who need to get out quick and and the house is busted, they don't have the money to fix it up. This is a really good deal for them. But yes, it sounds scammy, but it is a well-known. If you go to biggerpockets.com, you can learn all about it. It's a great real estate website. You guys check it out.
Wow, I didn't know we were going to get bonus material on this stream.
I know, man.
Let's finding ways to buy more hex. I was just kidding. I was just kidding about the stealing part.
No, you weren't.
It's more funny when you have to say that it's a joke or explain the joke.
Well, I find it interesting that every time I talk, you belittle me by putting my grizzly bear on the screen.
Oh man, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that it was showing. I was just trying to look at it.
See how I flipped it around on him, Matt?
Yeah, I do. I loved it.
He just likes bears. That's the thing.
Yeah, it is.
That's true.
Finbear, matter of fact.
Yeah, Finbear's in the house. Is there anyone else we haven't said hey to?
Yeah, you got to put yourself in there. Put yourself in the chat there if you want to shout out. I think it's important we recognize the folks that watch. I find myself at night all the time. I'm like, I texted Brandon last night. I'm like, are you going live? I need something to watch. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
I was like, bro, I got you, man. Yeah. You know what? I messaged Jesse Pitboss and I said, hey, we're going live now.
Awesome,
we were just going to record it, but it was for you, bro.
Well, what's awesome is I've got this routine going now where, I take care of all the things. We do dinner and all that stuff. And literally I just look for hex content, man.
Is it getting for you and Panda? Is it getting like, it's not addictive per se, but you're like falling more and more in love with it every day. Right. That's how I feel, dude. I love it.
Yeah. My wife's a little concerned I'm on my phone a little too much, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, I've got an addiction, clearly.
I don't like it at all.
I
actually, I love that we just get to talk about what we want. And I think that there has been a challenge in some regards to try to think of something new and positive, because especially with this stuff that's been going on, it's kind of easy to talk about drama.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I can see dude, Rags, I was on your stream last night. It's such a vibe, dude. I could see how you're addicted to it because you're so good at it and people love you. Your audience just loves it. And I think it's the funniest thing. If someone randomly chimed in and saw people hurling insults at you and you laughing through them, it's the best thing ever. I say hi to you, you go, hey, and you accidentally call me Trash Panda.
I literally accidentally called you that. I called you trash. I didn't mean to.
Laughing. I mean, it's the best thing ever. And in fact, next time we do this, we didn't get a chance. We just got right into it. But next time we do this, when you're saying hi to chat, you got to insult some people.
Yeah. No question.
You
got to maintain the brand.
I got to be careful though, because I don't want to taint y'all's brand. That's the problem. I don't care about Mike's dumbass, but I'm talking about y'all too.
I don't have a brand.
Mike's good.
Yeah, you do.
If me and Mike were if we were in the same town right now, we'd be drinking in about 30 minutes and having a good time. Shoot some pool. You shoot pool, Mike?
I do. I don't. Actually, I was watching the stream the other day. How'd you do in your bowling last week when you had to leave early?
Dude, you wouldn't believe it, man. Crushed all-time high 93, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Sandy B.
All right, Panda,
thank you so much for the excuse. I'm just trying to make Sandy B happy.
Guys, Hex-Ray Vision, this is all him, man. You guys check him out. He's new on the scene. And dude, I cannot, I before I go to bed at night, I just take a quick peek and then turn my phone off and go to sleep.
I mean, look at the blending.
Yeah.
I know.
I
zoomed really in amazing. On my forehead and I have hair follicles coming out of my forehead, dude.
Man, it's the perfect scowl too. Look at the smile. It's so good. Man, we got some great meme makers.
Well, the problem with I think the bear on the right is he's a paraplegic. He only has 1 foot, dude.
Are you sure?
Panda, do you have that that other meme that was done? Well, a guy from our Compassion Cartel did one with the car, and it's got you.
Oh, the
and it's
community
got
one?
rags in. Yeah, that's a.
Yeah, I don't have it. I don't have it loaded into Restream
It
here.
seems like everybody. There's at least one person in our community that's doing these awesome memes.
So I mean, Turfin one.
Just call him Terrafin, call him dumbass, whatever you want to
Just
call him.
pick. Let's get some profile name help for that person. Terrafin one.
That's what we call him. That's what we call him. Terrafin.
Terrafin was taken. So Terrafin's only. I mean, dude, if you're not going to insult people, I guess I have to. I'll do whatever needs to be done to get us to 100.
I got to be in the mood. God, I'm telling you, when I go down, listen, what I see in my top right part of my screen is Matt and his sterling image. I would feel responsible for his downfall, and I can't do that. I just can't do it, man.
Do you want me to do it for you?
No,
Yeah. Can you
calm down, man. I don't want to suck you into, like, we are standing on the edge of the cliff and we're looking into the abyss right now. Let's not do this, Matt.
All right, that's fair enough. Well, I think this is a good transition. Are you okay with if I plug the Compassion Cartel?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, of course, man.
All right.
You
So,
want me to? Yeah, go ahead.
no, you got an intro? Did you make one?
Well, I took a screenshot of your website earlier to try
Really?
to upload it into the thing. Yeah, why don't you do this? You talk about it, and I'll see if I can't break the stream by uploading it.
Dude, that's fine. No sweat. So the Compassion Cartel is a group of folks that are really an outcropping of what we call the Pulse Promise. So if you're interested in giving back, what we've done, and I started this under a month ago, which was I decided I was going to take $100 of my sacrifice, which ideally would be equivalent to 1 million Pulse points, which would be 1 million Pulse, hopefully, and basically said I'm going to put that in a separate MetaMask account, and I'm going to earmark that for doing good. That's it. I mean, it's set aside. And I challenged a group of people to do the same thing. So if you go to Pulse Promise, there's a link to our Telegram, and there's also a video that describes what the Pulse Promise is. And so we're up to 400 people in less than a month who have said, I want to do that same thing. And so once Pulse goes live at pulsepromise.com, you're going to be able to connect your MetaMask and just basically show that you've put that money or that those Pulse points into a separate MetaMask account. You don't sacrifice them. You don't give them away. This is not a blockchain project. This is more of a group of people who want to make a difference saying, hey, I'm in. And so the goal here is that we want to get 1,000 people in the Telegram and 1,000 people basically making this Pulse Promise by 2/22/22. And the idea is we're going to take all of that earmarked Pulse, and we're going to have basically the site is going to run the existing price of Pulse, and we're going to be able to see collectively as a group of 1,000 people how much impact that we can have together. And my goal and my hope is that Pulse eventually reaches $1, and that would be $1 billion of impact. And that is wherever you want to give it. But it's this idea of drawing generous people together and realizing that together we can have a tremendous impact and make a difference. But what I'm most excited about is all of these compassionate people together in a Telegram. And we had a guy, his name is David Lee. And I did a video about this, about miracles do happen. So if you get a chance, you want to hear an amazing story, is a group of people wanted to get together on a live video chat and pray and, send their good vibes and meditate and all of these things to help David Lee's wife, who has stage 4 colon cancer. And he was so nervous and so worried about her results that were going to come back. And we came around him, had an awesome pastor out of Long Island on, and, basically prayed for her. And the amazing thing that happened was they got the results back. and they've been getting bad news after bad news after bad news. And they said that the tumor reduced by 50% and all the lesions that were on another part of her body were gone. And to me, I was just absolutely blown away. So if you want to hear more about that story of David Lee and his wife, Stacy, you can see that on that video. But it's just the power of this community. And to me, that's really we may not realize gains for a long time, but there are gains, relationally that happen within this community. And we're just seeing it. And, just it's neat to be in a Telegram chat where people aren't, they're just supporting each other. And so we just encourage you to be a part of that. Take the promise. It's really something that is personal for you, but you get to be around a bunch of positive people, and that's fun. Thanks, guys.
That's awesome. Thanks, man. And I put there's a link. You guys now have links to your other things, your Patreon and your website in the description as well.
Awesome.
So Matt, just to make sure that I'm clear and I can talk to my folks about it, we're just earmarking $100 worth of Pulse, about a million Pulse potentially.
Yeah.
And we'll keep it in our own wallet, but it's earmarked in a separate account.
That's right.
Okay. Good.
It's not, you're not giving it to anybody. And really the whole point of this is it's just a personal commitment. I think that, we talk about delayed gratification. We talk about, there's a concept called first fruits. It's this idea of giving and being thankful for what you have. And this idea that if you knew that you were going to receive a tremendous amount of blessing and wealth, thinking ahead about essentially giving the best of it, meaning the first of it, and to say, if your heart is one that is concerned about others, which to me, it's better to give than receive. There's a really neat thing that happens when you're thinking in terms of how, just like you're doing with this Christmas deal, right? How am I going to use this resource to make a difference in people's lives and encourage them? And it's so cool when people do a super chat and they give you $199 and you're like, I wonder what this family's going to be and how they're going to react and how it's going to bless them for Christmas. And, if I can make a difference for one person, well, what if 1,000 people or 1,000,000 people do that? This change in the financial system is changing the very nature of generosity in the world. And that, to me, that's the stuff that really matters. I mean, you can only wear so many watches and drive so many cars. And when you start giving back, it really provides you with a richness in your life that I think makes you wealthy, not rich.
Great point. Matt, can you respond to Scott's question here up on the screen?
I didn't know about Pulse during the sacrifice. Can I still be part of Pulse Promise? Absolutely. And, the Pulse Promise itself will be anyone who wants to earmark. And actually, to your point there, Scott, there's a guy who said to me, I told him, I was doing $100 of my Pulse, and this gentleman has sacrificed $500,000. That's his sacrifice to Pulse. And he said, are you okay if I do more than $100? And I said, absolutely. And then there are people who said, hey, I don't have two nickels to rub together. I'm not a part of this, but I love this idea of being a part of a group who wants to help others. You're welcome. I don't care if you sacrificed or not. You're welcome in the group. It is an amazing group of people. But yes, you can decide to do that. And I think, if anything, I want to encourage people to look around their local community, look around in your family, look around and say, how do I bless people? And how do I strategically invest in a way that makes people's lives better? Because it's so close to my heart, this idea of, well, I could give Christmas presents and that's probably a good thing. But what if I was to get a car and this person doesn't have transportation and they can actually get to a job where they can make money? That's a way bigger blessing than getting just some gift. If I can enable you to be able to help yourself, that's real impact. And so, we want to think creatively and strategically about how we make a difference in people's lives. And, I think together we come up with better ideas than we do on our own.
So true. David Lee is in the building. David
Lee is in the house. Oh, David Lee.
Dude, congratulations, David. That's huge news, man.
Yeah, I hope your back's feeling better, man. It's so cool to have you here. Yeah, so his wife, Stacy, is the one that had the great report, and we're continuing to support him. We just want to see this absolutely gone. And that's just so cool to see that power, because I don't know how it works, but it works.
Right on. Well, we got about 10 minutes left. Let's go ahead and we can go ahead and shut it down. Everyone can go to the bathroom before they head over to Cabana Crypto's happy hour if you want to do that. Mike Mack, man, thanks for coming on.
Thank you guys for having me. You guys are awesome. You're my favorite streamers right now, and keep doing what you guys are doing. I appreciate it.
Hey, keep
Thanks,
it
Mike.
up, Enforcer.
By the way,
Your what?
Hour.
That's
Say
your
it
what?
again?
Happy hour?
I thouut this was happy hour. Yeah, I've been drinking.
10 minutes, baby. 10 minutes.
Is that NyQuil, dude? Are you robo tripping?
The good stuff.
Awesome. Hey, thanks everyone in the chat for being here. Thanks you guys. I hope everyone has
Mike.
good weekends. We won't be doing this next Friday because it's the day after Thanksgiving, but we'll powwow and see when the next one is. Check out CryptoHeartBeat. Check out Rags to Riches. These guys got great channels. Check them out on Twitter, and we hope to see you all soon.